Okay, I think we're working. Welcome in to another weekly spirit boost. I'm Tammy Mastroberti, best-selling author of the books The Universe is Talking to You in the Higher Help Method. And I teach people how to tap into what I call the divine higher help line of the universe. And so I missed you guys last week. I am here live every Thursday at noon Eastern on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok now. We're testing out TikTok for the first time for my weekly Spirit Boost Live. And so I missed you guys last week, but I have so many amazing stories to share with you about signs from loved ones on the other side. Specifically, what my mother has done, that it's going to make up for the fact that I missed you guys last week. So for today, welcome in. And I hope you had an amazing week last week. And we are moving into the Thanksgiving time. And I always find that, when you lose someone that you love that has passed on, it's hard because the holidays are, very just difficult. I don't know what's happening, you guys. I'm having issues. The holidays are just difficult overall, I think, because you miss that person, right? Whether they've been gone for 5 minutes or 50 years. My mother's been over 20 years, but I want to share with you some of the coolest things that had happened to me recently. Now, you know that I teach you that loved ones on the other side are always communicating with you, right? Just like the universe is always communicating with you, just like your angels and guides are always communicating with you. Loved ones on the other side are always communicating with you, and you don't have to be a psychic or a medium to get those signs, to receive that communication. And so when crazy, amazing things happen to me, I like to share them because it's just an example of how, our loved ones are still with us, right? Not just my mother, but all of your loved ones, especially as we go into the holidays. So let me get into the story of what happened. So I was not here last Thursday for my weekly spirit boost because I was traveling, and I let you guys know that the week before. So I was traveling to Orlando because my cousin's daughter, who's like a niece to me, got her first professional dancing job, and she was dancing in a parade in SeaWorld. It was like the Sesame Street Land Parade, and she was one of the dancers. So a bunch of us from my family went out to see her. And my sister was one of those people. And my sister is a very nervous flyer. Are there any nervous flyers out there? I'm not really a nervous flyer. I usually go to sleep on the plane because it's usually an early flight and I'm tired. So, but she's a very nervous flyer. So she gets herself sort of worked up beforehand and, wants to make sure everything's going to be okay. And, will ask for signs and things like that. Well, the day before we left, I was literally sitting right here at my desk, and I had music playing. I can't remember what I was listening to, if it was like something on TikTok maybe, and somebody had music in the background. I can't remember, but there was music playing on my phone. And I was thinking in my head about the trip and the fact that, I was going with my aunt, who's my mother's sister, and we were, my cousin was going, and it's his daughter. And my sister was going, and like, what a great trip this is going to be. And I'm so excited to see her, and we're going to just have a lot of fun, which we did. So besides the government shutdown and trying to get home on the flights, but we won't even get into that at the moment. So I'm thinking about this, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, my mother's going to be with us because, they go everywhere we go. And I'm thinking my mother's going to be with us and everything's going to be fine. Both of her daughters are going to be on the same flight. I have to tell my sister that I really do believe everything's going to be fine because we're flying together. And obviously my mother is going to fly with us, right? So, as I'm thinking this, literally as I'm thinking this, that my mother is going to go with us on this flight, like I zoom in and I hear the song that's playing. And the song that was playing, and remember, I always say loved ones will use songs on the radio. My mother used to believe in this before she even passed away. You know, my mother passed away when I was only 22. But she believed in this because she would hear songs on the radio that reminded her of her mother. And I grew up sort of indoctrinated into this, right? So I know my mother uses signs and uses songs on the radio as a sign. And believe me, your family also uses songs on the radio as a sign. Okay. So so I zoom in to the song that's playing and I realize it's the song Wherever You Will Go by The Calling. So if you don't know it, look it up. I believe it was written based on like mourning the loss of someone that had passed or whatever. And so I stopped and I said, oh my gosh. Now, number one, this is a song, and I'm going to tell you why this is a sign from my mother from 10 years ago. Okay. But I hear the song, and the song is saying, if I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low, I'll go wherever you will go. Right? We're flying. Now, I was like, oh my gosh. And it's a beautiful song. Look up the lyrics if you don't know, but it says like, maybe I'll find a way to make it back someday in your heart, in your mind. I'll be with you for all of time. Like, it's a beautiful song. So I stopped what I'm doing. Now I know I've heard this song before, and I'm going to tell you why when I first got this sign, because it was amazing. But I heard this song before and I stopped. It was at the moment I was thinking, oh my gosh, everything is going to be good. You know, my mom's, going to be with us. We're all going to be on the same flight. Her sister, her daughters, her nephew, right? We're all going to be on the same flight. So I said, oh my gosh, I have to tell my sister. So I text my sister because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You're not going to believe this, but I just got the sign, blah, 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 blah. So that alone was amazing. So I knew everything was going to be okay. The flights would be okay. We would have a good time. She would be with us, especially since my sister's a nervous flyer. The fact that she chose that particular song that says, I go wherever you will go, way up, high, or down low, right? So I said to myself, this is crazy. I have to tell my sister. But let me tell you, I'm going to kick it up a notch because let me tell you two other pieces of my mother in this puzzle. Over 10 years ago, I had a dream. In the dream, I was with my mother in my bedroom that I was in at the time. And she had picked me up, like as if I was a little kid, right? She had picked me up and like was holding me as if I was like 5, right? And as she's holding me in this dream, she's singing that song to me. She's singing the song, I go wherever you will go, way up, high, or down low, I'll go wherever you will go. Look up the song. It's called Wherever You Will Go by The Calling. And I woke and I was hysterically crying in the dream. Has anybody ever had this? Like where a loved one on the other side will come to you in a dream? Years ago, Karen Noe, who's a psychic medium, she's a Hay House author, amazing. She's actually in New Jersey, local to me. She had said, when you have a dream of a loved one who has passed on and they touch you in the dream, it's 100% a visitation. That's how you know it's a visitation, right? Not that if they don't touch you, it's not a visitation, but when they touch you in the dream, it's a visitation. So I had this dream where she was hugging me, holding me, singing this song to me. So I was like, oh my gosh, I woke up and I'm crying in the dream, and I woke up and I was crying in my bed. Has anybody ever had that before? I know people have had that before. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I had to look up the song because I can't remember if it was newer. This is over 10 years ago. But I looked up the song. I'm like, I know that song. What is that song? Who sings that song, right? After the dream. So I looked it up. And I saw the words and I thought, oh my gosh, right? So then from then on, that was a sign. Anytime I heard that song, I knew it was my mother because here she was in this dream singing it to me. Okay. So when I was sitting at this desk over a week ago, thinking in my head about this trip and how my mother was going to go with me, she played that song. At the exact moment I heard the beginning of the song and I stopped and I'm like, I know this song. And then I realized what song it was. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, this is the perfect song for what I was just thinking. So I knew right away it was my mother. So I said, oh my gosh. So I told my sister and then I called my aunt and then I told my husband and everybody was like, your mother is amazing. I can't believe it. How crazy is that? So that's how come I knew that song was a sign for my mother, because over 10 years ago, she literally sang it to me in a dream that I know was a visitation because she was holding me and I was crying in the dream and I woke up crying in the bed. And she decided to play that specific song before I went on this trip. And I was beyond, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's been 20 plus years. So for those of you who say to me, my loved one has been gone, 30 years, or my loved one has been gone 10 years, or however many years your loved one has been gone. For those of you who kind of think to yourself, I don't know, it's been a long time. Can they still send me stuff? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Especially if you ask for the sign. Especially if you ask. Now, I didn't ask. My sister had asked. I didn't know my sister had asked, okay? But I didn't ask. She just knew what I was thinking in my head at that moment and played the song. And knew that I would recognize the song because of 10 years ago when I had the dream and she sang it to me. Every time I hear that song, I stop and go, oh my gosh, my mother's here. She's playing that song, right? That's kind of how it works. So I couldn't believe it. And I was so excited about it. And I thought, my gosh, this woman is amazing. But I want to tell you, please, and please, please hear me when I say this to you. It's not just my mother. Okay? Anybody on the other side, all of your loved ones on the other side are doing this for you. You may not be noticing it, which is why I wrote an entire book on the topic called The Universe is Talking to You, right? Because it is talking to you. Your loved ones are talking to you. They are trying to get through to you, especially at key moments in your life. If you're going through something difficult, if you want reassurance, if something amazing happens to you and they want to congratulate you, even on a regular basis, but especially during those key moments, they want you to know they are there. It's not just my mother. I use my mother as an example because she never fails to amaze me, right? And bring through these incredible signs. But it's not just my mother. Your loved ones are doing it too, right? And that is why I want to help you to recognize it. Because when you start getting the proof in your life that you are not alone and that your loved ones have actually not left you, physically they are gone, but they have gone nowhere, okay? It opens up everything to a whole new world. Purple Sunset on Instagram says, if you don't see the signs you asked for and confirm the sign a few days later, what am I doing wrong? So if you asked for a sign and you didn't get it, I promise you, it came and you missed it. Because I do it too. I miss it all the time. So here's what you do. Well, first of all, did you ask for a specific sign or did you just ask for a sign in general? Because if you are struggling to get signs, I recommend you ask for a specific sign. I have an assign a sign exercise on YouTube and Facebook. It's linked below where you can get it for free. Otherwise, you can go to my website, tammymasterbirdie.com, and it is one of my top 3 signs that you can opt in for free, or top 3 tools that you can opt in for free for on the homepage, and it gives you my assign a sign exercise. What that does is it gives them a specific sign to send to you in the next 3 days, right? And or more. If you don't get that sign, and it's a specific kind of prayer that I give you to say that promises that you'll note that you asks for help in noticing the sign, and also allows you to ask them to send it, and where for you promising to accept it when it comes, right? Because we tend to talk ourselves out of signs. But if you ask for a specific sign and it doesn't come, or even if you ask for a sign in general and haven't gotten, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to call the loved one in again, and I want you to say, I asked for a sign, or I asked for a specific sign and I haven't seen it. My life is crazy and chaotic. I probably missed it. Can you send it again? That's it. Can you send it again? When you do that, guess what they do? They send it again. You asked for a green frog. I promise you, listen, I promise you, because now I can't wait for you to get the green frog because I know that it's coming. What I want you to do is just ask again and say, I probably missed it, because maybe you're not used to noticing signs. Maybe life has been crazy, right? And you've been chaotic, and there's been stress, or there's been worry, or there's been fear, or there's been whatever, right? We miss it. We miss it. We miss it. It's not that they don't send it. It's that to get through to our human conscious mind is not easy all the time, right? We miss it. Ask again. Okay. Ask again. I'm happy that I caught that, because that's a perfect thing that I think a lot of people struggle with. And you're not the only one. I've had people do my assign a sign exercise, and then they'll email me and they're like, Tammy, it's been a week, and did I do something wrong? Like you said, you did not do anything wrong. Life is crazy and you missed it. Do you know how subtly they put things in front of us? And we are just our mind is on our to-do list, or what we have to do when we get home, or what's happening next week, or what we're stressed out about, or what we're trying to do now. And there's 15 million things coming at us, and we miss them. So you just ask again and you renew it. I'm telling you, you will get it. Trust me when I tell you. Because I've had so many people say the exact same thing to me, and then people will come back and go, I got it. I can't believe I got it. Right? So just try it again. Okay. So anyway, so that was the sign that she gave me that became a sign when she sang it to me in a dream 10 years before. Okay. What happens is this is how signs become signs. And it doesn't have to be that they show up in a dream and say, here is your sign, right? They could do that. Don't discount that, but it doesn't have to be that. What happens is, and this happened, and this is why I say assign a sign, my assign a sign exercise. Give them a specific sign to use, because you cut out the middleman, right? How it works is, my mother would use a sign like her birth date, which is May 9th. So she would use 0509 all the time. And I would start seeing it, and it would make me think of her. I would see the 0509 and it would make me think of her. And I would go, oh, my mother's around. And then she would go, oh, she got it. 0509 makes her think of me, and then she knows I'm around. I'm going to keep using it, right? That's how a sign becomes a sign. So maybe they'll use their name. That's always the easiest thing. You just ask your loved one, can you use your name so that I hear it or see it or read it in some way over the next few days, right? That's always the easiest one, because what else would make us think of them but their name, right? So that's always an easy one. But that's how a sign becomes a sign. You see something, you think of your loved one, you go, oh my gosh, hi, I know you're around me. I miss you. Thank you for sending me this sign. They then go, check, right? Check. They got that. I'm going to use that again. And now a sign has become a sign. And now every time you see that sign, hear that song, see that number, hear the name, see the rose, whatever it might be, you know your loved one is around, and they will continue to use it to let you know they are around you, right? So that's how the song for me became a sign. Now there's many other songs I've even talked about on here that reminds me of my mother that I know she uses, but this one was a big one, a huge one, because she literally came to me in a dream and sang it to me and I remembered it. Now, I'm going to blow your mind even more about how much our loved ones know everything that's going on in our life before we even know it. What you have to understand is they are in a different plane, right? They're on the other side, in a different plane, in a different level, in a parallel universe, whatever you want to call it. They see everything, right? They can see everything that's going on now. They know where we're headed and opportunities that are coming down the line that we don't know because there is no time and space on the other side, right? There is no time and space on the other side. So they can see it all. And my mother always loves to kind of predict things whenever I have a reading with a medium or anything like that, which I periodically will do, like every year and a half or something like that. I'll purposely schedule something. She loves to predict things. She loves to talk about things and tell me, and she's my mother, so she wants to tell me what to do all the time, right? What parent doesn't want to tell us what to do? So, last December, so what are we in November right now, right? Last December, so almost a year ago, I had a reading with a medium. His name is Anthony Maraca. Love him. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him everywhere, I think. He has like a 11-month waiting list, but he's worth the wait. I had a reading with him last December. In the reading, my mother was talking about traveling, taking a trip with my sister. And I was like, at the time, I was like, my sister doesn't travel well. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. And he was like talking about going down to the Jersey Shore, which he does every year, and telling me to go. And then he said, who's going? This is last December. He said, who's going to Disney? I said, Disney? I don't know. He said, no, there's going to be a trip to Disney. I said, okay. And he's like, she's telling you to make sure you go. And I'm like, with my sister? Because she doesn't like to fly. Like, she'll do it, but she doesn't like to fly. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm always open to whatever they say, right? So I typed it out. I wrote it down, trip to Disney. She's telling me to go. Well, when I found out, this was last December. Okay, we are now in the following November. When I found out about this trip to go see, now it wasn't Disney, it's SeaWorld, right? Separate from Disney, still in Orlando. I thought to myself, well, isn't that interesting? I feel like my mother talked about me going to Disney, but this isn't Disney, right? This is Orlando. Guess where we went on the trip? We went to Disney. We went to the Polynesian Hotel to have dinner in Disney one night. We went to Disney Springs in Orlando to have dinner and shop. We were in Disney. It was an Orlando trip, and we were in Disney. And I freaked out when I realized it because I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to go. I want to go with my family, and I want to see her dance for the first time. She's been dancing since she was like a 3, 4, 5. I don't even know. She's 18 now. So I said, oh my gosh, I want to go. And I just wanted to go. I didn't even think about that reading. But then all of a sudden, something came back to me, and I said, let me look it up. I always keep all my notes from all of the readings that I have. And I went back and I said to myself, oh my gosh, my mother was telling me to take this trip a year before I even knew she was going to get a job there. Like, she was still in high school at this time last year, right? She wasn't, auditioning for things. Like, none of this was happening, right? And this was over a year ago. But when we were talking about going, and I said yes, and I said to myself, Orlando, and I thought to myself, I can't believe my sister's going to fly again, because she would fly to see her daughter who goes to college in Arizona. And I said to myself, I can't believe my sister's voluntarily flying. And then it jogged my memory. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. Didn't I have a reading where my mother said something about traveling with my sister? And so I went and looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh. She was talking about going to Disney and making sure I go. She's telling you to go. He's like, she's telling you to go. And at the time I thought I have no plans to go to Disney. Why am I going to Disney in next year? And why in the world would I go to Disney with my sister? Like, it just didn't make sense. But I typed it out because I trust that they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. Okay. She knew I was going to take this trip a year before I even knew, a year before anybody knew, a year before the girl got the job at SeaWorld to dance. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how much they know what's going on. That's how much they see. That's how much they are with us and involved. Now, my mother was always a very overly involved parent, woman, etc. God love her. So I know she's still very involved from the other side, right? Probably even more so because now she has more control over things. Like, she can get through to me and she can help me in ways she couldn't before, right? So it was just like this whole trip was just a whole magical thing because number one, my mother predicted it and told me to go before I even knew I was going to do it. Number two, she gave me the sign that everything was going to be okay the day before we left on the trip. And it was the perfect sign because literally the song is saying, I go wherever you will go. So in other words, my mother was going on this trip too. Okay. She was going on this trip with us. And the fact that I was thinking about flying and how my sister is nervous about flying. And she says in the song, well, she didn't say, the singer says in the song, way up, higher, down low, I go wherever you will go. You can't make it up. It couldn't be more perfect. It could not have been more perfect. And the fact that she knew about this trip and told me about the trip a year before, it just is amazing. And I share all of this with you again, not to say that my mother is this amazing, powerful spirit. Okay, you are, Mom. I'm just saying. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. All of your loved ones are around you in the same way and they are communicating in the same way. And if you don't know and you've never gotten a sign, please try my assign the sign exercise. It's in the universe is talking to you. It is linked below here on YouTube and Facebook. And you can go to my website, TammyMasterBirdie.com. And on the first homepage, you can opt in for free for those 3 tools. And assign a sign is one of them. It will completely change your life when you start communicating with the universe and communicating with your loved ones on the other side, and you start to create a language, right? So as you assign these signs, or signs come up and they make you think of them, like their name, their birth date, etc., right? You now are starting to create your own resource guide, your own dictionary, your own language to know your loved ones are around. And you can use that assign a sign with all different loved ones, right? Like, so you can assign a sign to your mother, your father, your grandfather, your cousin, your dog, your cat. Works the same way. Okay. And when you start doing that, now you start knowing who's around you, right? Like, how many of you who haven't gotten a sign will get a sign and go, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Who is that? How do I know who it is? How do I know if it's my mother? Or what if it's just my angels? Or I'm not sure. If you start intentionally, consciously working with them, communicating with them, giving them the signs, giving them the information, now you know who is who. And now they know, oh, if I use this sign, she will know it's me or he will know it's me. Right? It's like logical, but everything I do is sort of logical and practical because I'm a Virgo and that's the way we roll. So, if you are not doing this already, I highly recommend you just try it. Just try the assign a sign. I know many of you out there who've been with me for a long time have already done this, and you have different signs for your different people or different angels or whatever higher helpers you're working with, etc. So, and if you have any good stories, leave a comment below and let me know, because I always love to hear them and I always like to share them with everybody else as well, cuz I hear the best stories from people about asking for a sign and then getting it. And it completely changes the way you move through your life, because now you realize you're not moving through your life by yourself. Now you have proof that your loved ones are still around you, that the universe is working for you and is actually talking to you all the time. It's just that we need to learn how to communicate. We need to learn the language. And it starts with actually giving a sign, asking for a specific sign. It makes a big difference in terms of kind of opening things up if you're new to it, right? And you starting to realize, oh my gosh, this is so great, right? It's incredible. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just reading the things on Instagram as well. Okay, so let me just see some of the comments. Oh, my sister was in the live. Yeah, my sister was in the live. So yes, that's it was crazy. It was really crazy. Hi, Carol. Um, so, if this makes sense to you, if you are communicating with your loved ones, if you are enjoying the things that I bring, feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know you're here. Gregory says, let me just move. It is a great song and it is very special to my sister and niece. Oh no! Oh, wait. Why did it just click you off? Hold on. I was trying to read it, Gregory, and it came up. Okay. It's a great song and it is very special to my sister and niece. I've seen The Calling live. Oh, that's amazing. And have met Alex Band, who was very nice. So whenever I hear that song, it is special to me. 100%. And when I first heard it in the dream, right? When my mother first came to me in the dream and sang the song to me, I didn't know. I was like I knew the song, but I had never paid attention to the words and what it meant. So when I woke up from the dream, I thought to myself, wait a second, what is that? So I Googled it and I thought, oh my gosh, what a beautiful song, right? Like it really is. Like if you've never read the lyrics, go and read the lyrics. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. And it's been 20 plus years since my mother passed away. She's been communicating with me for the 20 plus years. Again, I'm not a psychic, or, well, I mean, I am psychic now, but at the time, I hadn't developed any of my abilities, right? And I was getting signs from her. So you do not have to be a trained psychic or medium to be able to receive the signs from your loved ones, from the universe in general. Okay. You do not have to. You do not have to. Oh, I keep dropping. This is the first time I'm trying to manage a bunch of lives. Sorry, TikTok. I keep dropping you. Okay, wait, let me read. Peggy H says, my son's lifelong friend passed away. He worked at Aunt Millie's Bread. I asked him to send me a sign while I was out walking in a subdivision just days after he passed. Oh my God, right there. Wait, there's more of the message. It was a huge Aunt Millie semi truck driving through the subdivision. I mean, could you not get a better sign than that? I mean, he was on that. That is amazing. It's like, again, Karen Noe, who's a psychic medium, she calls it like a without a doubt sign. Like, how can you doubt that sign? You literally asked for a sign from him. And I love that you said it was a couple of days after his passing, because that's another question I get a lot from people too, is how quickly can I get a sign? And then the flip side of they've been gone forever, can I still get signs? And the answer is yes, you can get a sign quickly, and yes, you can get a sign after 30 plus years, because both of them have happened to me. And I will tell you, when they first pass, it's not that they can't send a sign, right? What happens is it's usually that it's not that they can't send a sign, it's that they are sending them and you are in grief and missing them, right? It's never that they can't send the sign or they haven't figured out how to send the sign, or that they're adjusting or whatever, right? It's always that they are sending it and we are missing it because we are distracted in chaos, in grief, in worry, in stress, etc. So we are missing it. They can send the sign right away and they can send the sign 15 plus years later because energy is energy and energy lives on, right? So, and my mother has been my greatest teacher for this because she died when I was 22 years old. That is 20, I don't even know, I can't do math, 25 plus years or something like that. That's why I write, by the way, I can't do math. And she still, I just told you a sign I got last Wednesday, right? So time frame doesn't matter, but I love the Aunt Millie's semi truck going through the subdivision. And I hope that I'm sure that you called your son and told him about that because that's incredible. That's incredible. And that's how, listen, when we ask you guys, they will go out of their way to answer. I have had the most crazy emails from people about the way that people, loved ones on the other side or our angels or whomever have kind of jumped through these hoops to get signs to us. And it's beyond, you just can't doubt it. You cannot doubt an Aunt Millie's semi truck. So thank you for sharing that. Mary said, I was literally just thinking I would love to ask Tammy of a psychic she recommends. You tuned in at the right time, Mary. Synchronicities. Thank you, universe. Yes, 100%. Yeah, no, he's amazing, Anthony Maraca. And like I said, and I've known him for years. I've been getting readings from him for years. He's another kind of New Jersey local, but he does have a waiting list, but I promise you he is worth the wait. And sometimes he gets cancellations. So sometimes like recently I went on and booked something because it's been a year and I figured it was going to be 2 years before I could get another session. And he wound up having a cancellation and I got something for May. So you never know, but I do highly recommend him. He's excellent. There's other psychics that I recommend that are very, very good as well. Psychic mediums. Jennifer Flynn is another one, jenniferflynnmedium.com. She's out of Pennsylvania, but she does the phone sessions and everything as well. And she also is booked ahead a little bit, but I don't know if it's quite as much. I haven't been on her website in a while, so I'm not 100% sure where she is in terms of booking. Let me see. Jackie said, I asked for the sign of a teacup. Oh, I love that. 2 days later, I'm watching BritBox and a character went on a rant about teacups in every room of the house. How much tea do you need? I mean, see what I'm saying? It's like you didn't get one teacup. You got a rant about teacups. Like when you ask them for a sign, I just believe they have fun with it. I really, really do. Oh, yes, I definitely told my son and many others. Oh, because that's an amazing story. I love that story. And what I love about that too is that you didn't even give a specific sign. You just asked for a sign and he was like, well, what better sign can I give than where I worked, right? And so let me just like fling that across the screen for you. Across your consciousness. So that was perfect. And I love that. And they just, like I said, they never disappoint. You're welcome, Mary. Yeah, both of them are amazing. But like I said, I wanted to just come on here and share a little bit about, I'm on here every Thursday, and I always try to come up with things that are topics that have happened to me lately, that have been a theme in my membership community, a theme with my one-on-one clients, a theme with friends and family, things that just keeps coming into my consciousness. And whenever I get a crazy, amazing sign from my mother, I always have to share it because I feel like it helps everybody learn and understand their own stuff, right? And understand their own signs and things like that. So, that's why I decided to talk about this week. And the fact that number one, she predicted the trip a year before with a psychic medium. Number two, she used the perfect sign the day before we went was amazing. The trip home, not so amazing due to the government shutdown. And of course, when we flew out, I think the next day they wound up canceling like 10% of the flights or something. So, and of course, they always wait to cancel your flight till you get to the actual airport and sit down at your gate, and then you get a cancellation. So, my flight got canceled, but thank God I was able to get on a later flight on the way on the same day. I don't even know how, by the grace of God and all of my angels that I called in. I was able to get on a later flight that day that was actually delayed. So my flight was supposed to be 10:30. I wound up getting on the 9:50 a.m. flight that didn't leave until 4 p.m. that day. And they made us get on the plane at 2 o'clock and then go out and then say, oh, now we're stuck on the runway. And we were on the runway for like 2 hours. But like I said, I sleep on a plane. So I passed out and I didn't even know about it. And then I think I remember taking off. But just from all of the stress, I was like, I'm done. And I slept. And then the rest of my family was on a different flight, and because they had booked theirs before I decided to go and book mine. And their flight got canceled early, so they wound up rescheduling to another airline, but then their flight was delayed. And then instead of flying into Newark, New Jersey airport, it was diverted in the air to New York's JFK. Like, it was just, everybody was a mess, but everybody got home before midnight that night. So it worked out well. The universe was with us, but don't travel during a government shutdown if you don't have to. We booked it before the shutdown, but thank God it's open now till January 30th, and hopefully it will stay that way. Oh, Peggy said, I just wanted to add that when I saw the Aunt Millie semi, I laughed out loud and said, thank you, Matt. Yes, 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 100%. But now he'll use that Aunt Millie's. I don't know if he's ever used it again, but pay attention, because once you get it, right, like, they'll use it again. Carol says, oh my God, what the HH higher help brought me. Much gratitude for your guidance. Everyone watch Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, 11/11 episode and shed tears. Oh, about his BFF, the band leader, Chloe's passing. I heard about, with a signs message at the end. Oh, I heard about him talking about it and breaking down in tears, but I didn't know there was a sign message at the end. That's awesome. See, no, our loved ones, our friends, our family, they're around us and they want so much for us to know it. And they also want to know that that we can relax and not worry as much and not freak out as much, right? Like, my mother gave us that sign to say, like, I'm with you on the flight. I'm with you on the trip. Everything's going to be fine. And it was, even with all the government shutdown drama, like, we could have been delayed days. I was literally ready to go back to where my, cousin's daughter was staying, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to stay another couple days. I was gonna have to cancel one-on-one clients that I had on Monday because I'm like, what if I'm flying? Like, it was a mess, and it turned out okay. I still got home that night. I still did my one-on-one sessions on Mondays, and everything was good. So my mother was on it. That's all I'm saying. Lorraine said, I love this so much. Thanks to you, I always call on my dad. Yes. And get messages he's listening. 100%. You guys, if you've never done it, please get my assign a sign exercise again. It is linked below on YouTube and Facebook. Everybody else can go to TammyMasterBrody.com and get my top 3 tools for free. And the assign a sign is one of them. Just try it and then either come back here or email me or reach out on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, DM me and let me know the story, because I absolutely never tire of hearing these amazing stories of how the signs come through. I really don't. I still, 20 plus years later of my mother being gone and sending signs, I still get beyond excited and shocked at the ways that she gets through. Like, it's still such an exciting thing to me. And it's been years of this happening to me. So, and years of me teaching about it, right? So, and that's why I share it. I share it because I want you to experience it yourself. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this. My gosh, I've been on here forever. Just realized the time. I've been talking and chatting with you forever. This has been a long weekly Spirit Boost, but thank you for joining me. I will be back here next Thursday, and then the following Thursday is Thanksgiving, obviously, so I won't be live. But I will be back here next Thursday for another weekly Spirit Boost, and who knows the topic, because they come to me, usually the week of, a day before sometimes. So thank you all for joining me, for being here with me, for communicating with me, for chatting with me, interacting with me, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Oh, Anthony's last name is Marocca, Mrocka. I just, thank God I just put my glasses back on so I can see that in Instagram. You can find him on Instagram, but it's Anthony Marocca, Mrocka. And then the other medium is Jennifer Flynn, Flynn. And I think her website is just Jennifer Flynn Medium. And I think Anthony's is just Anthony Marocca. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for hanging out with me. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. I always love doing it on a Thursday because we're like a breath away from the weekend. So enjoy your weekend. And as I always say, please do something for yourself that brings you joy. No matter how big, no matter how small, do something that brings you joy so that you can boost your vibration, because it puts you into a good place and because you deserve it. So do something this weekend just for that. Schedule it in and make sure you get it done. I don't care if it's just going for the latte, but do it. And I will be back here next Thursday, and I will see you all then. Bye, everyone.